Congressman Earl Blumenauer with us tonight on The Ed Show. Congressman, let me ask you straight up, are the Republicans lying about this alleged death panel? I mean, they're saying that there's a death panel. You put it in there. You're the one. Are they lying?
They are lying.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear, because that's exactly what they're doing. Congressman, what is this provision that is causing this firestorm and striking fear in the hearts and minds of seniors across America?
It is a bipartisan effort to make sure that senior citizens and their family have an opportunity to get consultation with the medical professional of their choice, to know what they're getting into, to know what their options are, how to make sure the family wishes are respected. This came from bipartisan legislation that I introduced, that no Republican spoke against, and in fact has Republican co-sponsors, and has had Republicans tell me and speak publicly about the need to make sure that seniors' wishes are respected and they get the tools and information they need.
Why? I mean, the polls are showing that this fear tactic is working. The president and his efforts to reform health care starting to slip with seniors. So how do you turn this around?
Well, it's exactly what you're doing here, Ed, is putting the spotlight on a blatant, obvious lie.
But you've got Senator Grassley out there basically endorsing this rhetoric. In fact, he mentioned your House bill on the stump, telling people that they should fear you, Congressman.
Well, and what's happening is that every independent observer who has fact-checked this gives this a for Pinocchio, pants-on-fire liar rating. Every major newspaper that's editorialized, people are seeing that this is a categorical untruth, that they are trying to spread falsehoods.
All right.
And I think, Ed, what's happening is that you're getting unprecedented attention, and something that is this blatant is not only exposing the lie about this provision, but it's showing the lengths to which they will go to prevent health care reform.
Congressman, that is it. And I just find it, as a news consumer, hard to believe that someone of Chuck Grassley's stature in the Senate, who is the ranking Republican on the Senate Finance Committee, after all these years in the Senate, would just be making a mistake on a House bill, which he probably hasn't even read yet. And also stoking the fire on this, of course, is Sarah Palin. I want your response to this. Her latest posting on her Facebook: President Obama can try to gloss over the effects of government-authorized end-of-life consultations, but the views of one of his top health care advisors are clear enough. It's all just more evidence that the Democratic legislative proposals will lead to health care rationing, and more evidence that the top-down plans of government bureaucrats will never result in real health care reform. Well, I'd like to point out that there's rationing going on right now by the insurance industry. Dispel that myth right there about rationing, Congressman.
Well, the point is, we are making choices now. Millions of Americans have health care rationed because they can't get access to it, or it's only through an emergency room. The point is, there's nothing in this legislation that speaks to rationing. It's the opposite. It gives access to people. It removes the fear of bankruptcy that is stopping a number of people from taking advantage of health care opportunities. And it's part of what they're trying to do to change the subject. Making up things, keep layering argument after argument that's bogus, and hopefully they think something will stick. Well, I think it's catching up with them.
And finally, Congressman Blumenauer, we've seen some pretty contentious town hall meetings, and you guys are going to end up going back to Washington working on this. And I'm just curious, are you so hot under the collar about this after being so maligned by the conservatives? If you bumped into Charles Grassley in the hallway of the Congress, would you tell him to his face that you're not telling the truth to the American people?
Absolutely. I find this deeply offensive, and frankly, there are a number of friends of mine that I plan on following up with to try and understand what's in your head. This is stuff that you supported last month. Why aren't you speaking out in support of it now?
Congressman, great to have you on the program. Keep up the fight. White, you're welcome here anytime. I appreciate your honesty tonight. Thanks so much.
I appreciate your work.